appears to be satisfied with the way things are proceeding. No disruptions were reported other than minor spat between the IEC and the EFF in Reiger Park, while the EFF has questioned the legitimacy of an ANC candidate in the Dihlabeng municipality said to have a criminal record. IEC Chief Electoral Officer Mamabolo now joins me live. A very good evening to you, Mr. Mamabolo. Thanks indeed for your time. So, Mr. Mamabolo, overall 24 municipal wards being contested in this round of by-elections. Polls closing at 9 p.m. How has voting progressed?
We're quite happy with our overall performance. Our operations are holding well. Although a few aberrations here and there, overall the compliance rate on PPE as well as anti-COVID measures are being complied to by both voters as well as our officials. In some areas, a trickle of voters, yet in others, we are poised for a reasonable turnout.
Yeah. So in the previous round, there were incidents of service delivery protests, you'll recall, in the Eastern Cape and also here in Johannesburg, that had threatened people from going out to vote. In our intro there, we mentioned what seemed to have been a bit of a disruption. Was there any voting that had been affected?
There were attempts in Bushbuckridge in the morning, in those wards that you referred to, but we were able to intervene early enough. By 8 o'clock, operations were established. And I think it's important that we are...
All right, we do apologize. We seem to have lost our sound there to the IEC's Mamabolo. We're really hoping we'll be able to get back to him in the next few moments. Of course, him talking about the by-elections that got underway today. Polls closing at 9 o'clock. One incident he's referred to in Bushbuckridge about minor disruptions, but talking about the election itself that had not been disrupted. We'll see if we're not able to connect with Mamabolo in the next few moments. In fact, I think we are able to. Mr. Mamabolo, a good evening to you once again. You were talking about a minor disruption in Bushbuckridge. Could you pick up from there, please?
Yeah, the point that I was trying to make is that people who are aggrieved by one or the other source of service delivery matter, they cannot appropriate to themselves the right to decide who participates in an election and who does not. For that, it's a fundamental constitutional right of all citizens. Therefore, we want to urge the South African Police Service
All right, we don't seem to be having much luck with the IEC's Mamabolo this evening. A bit of a disruption there in him trying to connect with us. Our team is working on that at the moment, and I think he's back on again. We do apologize to our viewers for that. Mr. Mamabolo, you are back online with us. Please proceed.
Yes, we're saying that where this service delivery protests or community protests obtain, it is our expectation that the South African Police Service will intervene to protect the constitutional rights of those people who want to participate. It cannot be that a few amongst us appropriate to themselves the right to decide who participates and who doesn't. That is inimical to an electoral democratic process.
All right, so this is the last round of by-elections for the year. And obviously one of your concerns was that, polling stations do not become points of transmission for the virus. Any lessons that the IEC has taken from how you've had to conduct these particular by-elections?
Overall, people are compliant to the anti-COVID measures that we've negotiated with political parties. As I indicated earlier, there are a few aberrations, such as we've seen in Nkomazi, where some of the voters tent at the voting station without masks and so on. Such people will not participate. We do not want voting station to become a point of transmission. It should be an easy, quick process when you have your mask on.
Yeah. And just lastly, Mr. Mamabolo, I mean, low voter turnout in these elections also of concern. I heard the IEC allude to that in the previous round. Are you any clearer, at least now, or have an idea as you wrap up for the year, what some of these key contributing factors were for this?
Well, by-elections normally don't have the same focus as do general elections. And therefore, the momentum that is created by a general election is always not available. But it is not for want of trying, because in partnership with institutions such as the SABC, we do try to get the message out to people. We do try to do voter education campaigns in the affected wards. But we hope that with persistence, with directed messages, and perhaps with the more vibrant use of social media going forward, we should be able to turn the voter turnout curve.
Thank you very much indeed for your time.